Welcome back to the Midday Show. We're going to be talking about a wonderful exhibit happening right here in our community over at Wilson House. And Alex is joining me right now. He is the artist. I don't know how to say your last name, Alex. How do I say it?
Ananou.
Ananou. Okay,
Ananou,
so that's
yes.
not so hard. That's good. Now I feel like we're off to a good start. Alex, first off, welcome to the show and welcome to Kamloops. How long have you been in town?
In Kamloops, about 3 months, a little over 3 months, yes.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your background. Where are you from originally?
I'm from a town called Strasbourg in France. So I've grown up there and then I went to Germany for my studies. I used to, I spent a couple of years in Australia and then I came over here to Canada to live here.
So why did you choose Canada? What made this your destination?
Mainly because of the mountains, because of the job situation. I love rock climbing, skiing, etc. So I thought Canada would be a good place to go. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
And how did you find Kamloops?
Very nice so far, yeah. It's just been a few months, so I haven't spent the winter here. The summer's very nice and lovely. It's got a lot of, lakes and fishing, camping, rock climbing, so it's been very good.
Lots of things to keep you busy.
Exactly, yes.
And lots of things, hopefully, to fuel your creativity. So what is your background in art?
In art, I'd say little. I was fortunate enough to do quite a bit of traveling over the last 10 years. So I guess I just use the camera as a hobby, as a tool, as a medium to just record some of the travels I was doing, some of the impressions, some of the memories, some of the stuff I was seeing. So it really kind of came as, it started as a hobby. It still is a hobby.
It just kind of keeps growing.
It just kind of keeps growing, and I'm just playing with it and experimenting.
And so what are some of the images that people can see at Wilson House?
Wilson House, so the exhibition's called Negative. Reason why it's called Negative is because it's basically a selection of inverted images, black and white inverted images. Images people can see is 10 shots from, I'd like to say, around the world. So I've really selected 10 interesting shots, 10 dynamic shots I really like, inverted them digitally, and then just put them on print and frame, and now they're all exposed at the at the Wilson House Gallery.
So how do you go from taking shots as you travel and you're capturing your memories and things that you see? How do you go from that to thinking, okay, well, I'm going to invert this and do a show? Like, I mean, to me, like, I wouldn't make those connections, you know? Like, how did you sort of come to what you see at the gallery?
It was all a bit of an accident, if I can say, because like I said, I just like to experiment with some of the pictures. So one day I was working on a picture using a software, and then by mistake I inverted it, and this is how I kind of realized how interesting the picture actually became. And so I started, like I said, selecting shots from different portfolios, different essays I had, and just started playing around with it. Inverting some of the images I really liked, some of the images I thought were interesting, and this is kind of how it grew together. So it's an idea I had. It's been going on for a couple of years, and I've never had the time or the resource to actually put that together and make this happen. And thanks to the Kamloops Arts Council, who's been incredibly helpful in this exhibition and supporting local artists, etc. I was able to find the time, find the place, find the venue to make it, just to make it happen.
To have them on display.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now you did bring a piece with you that's a part of this exhibit.
Yes, I did bring one. Yes.
Okay. Do you have names for each of your pieces as well?
They do, yeah. That one's called Traffic.
Okay.
I think it's quite self-explanatory.
Yes, it definitely looks like traffic.
Yeah, so it is, like I say, it's basically 10 images, 10 words, from iceberg to cactus to traffic. There's what really ties those pictures together is the fact that they're inverted, digitally inverted, and that there is this dynamic or this composition that I think is interesting with the pictures. So they're really from all sorts of different places, from landscape to macro to abstract to portraits. So it's really an array. It's really a patchwork of different pieces of my travels.
It must be difficult, and it must have been difficult for you to only choose 10 pieces.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredibly difficult. Yeah. But I guess I've had the chance to have some of my friends were on, my girlfriend was on, and so I started making a selection out of thousands of pictures, bringing it down, narrowing it down to 100 pictures, maybe 20, 30 pictures, and then I ultimately relied as well on some of my friends who've got that objective eye, I guess, a different eye onto it.
Because they become such friends, don't they?
Yes.
Each of your pictures?
Yeah. It's very hard to judge them, ultimately, because I've just been working with them so often. I've been seeing them so often. A lot of them have a story behind it. So a lot of pictures I may find very interesting because I know what's behind it, or I know what's around it. But there may be meaning for, meaningless for other people. So that's why it's
Yeah.
important to be surrounded by people who have that objective eye on it.
That's so cool. So if people would like to go to your exhibit, how long is it going to be on at Wilson House?
It'll be on until August 1st. So it's been running now for a couple of weeks, Monday to Friday, 1 until 5. And there will be a closing ceremony. So we've had an opening ceremony at the beginning of July. And there'll be another closing ceremony for the people who couldn't attend the opening ceremony, which is going to be held sometimes a couple of days just before the show ends. So lots of information is on the Facebook site. So if you just type in Alexandre or Alex Ananou photography, there's a lot of information out there, a lot of pictures as well to browse through. And then the actual date and time of the closing ceremony will be announced as well.
Okay, and you'll be at the closing ceremony?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah.
People want a chance to meet you, then they can do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, very cool. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck with your exhibit as well.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back in just a moment here on Midday.